Welcome to the Lucidus podcast, where I explore everything. Because in my heart, I know everything is connected to everything else. So no matter where I start, I'll reach the end of them all. No matter where I go, I'm going in all directions. Today, I want to talk about the infinite, unbounded potential within each of us. I know, I've mentioned it before, but here it is again. Because it is something that I feel so much potential in me, and I feel like I can't access it. I don't dare, I can't, I don't know, pick the words. And I'm constantly, the saying that keeps coming to my head, which I mentioned recently on the podcast, is pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. And those words were spoken by Billie Jean King. I still hope I got that right. I'm pretty sure, Billie Jean King. Pressure is a privilege. And yes, she was speaking about it in the athletic arena. I would say life is an athletic arena. It's athletic mentally, and it's athletic spiritually, it's athletic emotionally, and it's athletic mentally. So while this isn't a tennis arena, it is my life. It is where I feel pressure. And there have been times in my life where I have felt like so much has been asked of me to go through, overcome, heal, whatever words, so much. And I always, whenever I feel like that, no, that's not true. Sometimes I absolutely let myself feel that way. But many times I have to stop and say, let's not get out the scales, because I know there are others far, far worse. And I don't know that scales are helpful anyway, because we don't know what anyone else carries inside them. And there are plenty of outer privileges that absolutely 100% make a difference. And we never know what anyone else is carrying. And pressure is a privilege, like all of it. There's not even a duality here. I say there's a quadrality, trying to hold at least four opposites. And in the middle, just surrendering, accepting the pressures that I feel that have been put on me, the experiences I've gone through, the healing I've gone through, the trauma work, just life in general, day to day. Certainly relationships with family, with friends, with myself, with children, with partners. So pressure is a privilege. And my big takeaway on that is that when I feel the pressure to do the work, or the pressure to move through a hard situation, or the pressure to become something that I feel called to become. I may not even recognize what I'm being called to, but I know I'm being called to become a different person, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That when I feel that pressure, to remind myself it's a privilege, that I even get to hear it, be called to it, respond to it, follow it. I was recently watching this documentary about the old castles around Europe. And my God, they were just basically war and torture chambers. I know and they are gorgeous, structurally. I mean, I've never actually, I don't know if I've actually seen a castle in Europe. But my point is, we have these, that was a big tangent, so let me go back. So many of our ancestors were literally fighting to survive every day, hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth, and lived terrible atrocities. Fear of death and torture was, in medieval Europe, if you weren't nobility, your life was nothing. You could be killed by anyone at any time, and nothing was done or said. So the fact that I can feel the pressure is real, and it's hard, and sometimes it literally just feels painful. And the fact that I can even feel it, listen to it, respond to it, move with it, follow it, is a privilege so many of my ancestors, so many people in general never had. So to do the deep healing work there's a lot of pressure, and it's a privilege. And I'm reminding myself that today because I feel a lot of pressure. I recently found this beautiful, I wish I could show you, I don't even know what it's called. It was on Etsy, and it was this woman, and she was hand with a very, very large needle. I don't know, maybe a 4-inch needle, and really thick thread. She was kind of somewhat embroidering, but it was so big, it wasn't like the fine embroidery we see. It's like 6 foot by 6 foot. And it was a woman, and there were like kind of butterflies that were kind of flying out of her face. And at the same time, a lot of the strings from the butterflies were just hanging down. So it looked both like she was taking flight and she was crying. And I sent that to some friends and said, this is how I feel, like I'm birthing into a new life. Like I feel that, all the butterfly, the transformation and the flight. And at the same time, it's so filled with grief. And that is something I believe is so often overlooked or misunderstood, or maybe even blatantly ignored. So much of a new life there is an element of grief or loss or pain or letting go, of all the things. Even if we didn't really love them, we know them, we probably come to care for them. And in that sudden kind of release, I think there is a moment of both grief and joy, but I'm definitely on the grief side of that moment right now. It also reminds me when a baby's born, neither of my babies cried when they came out, but they were both struggling to breathe. They were both very big and blue. But some babies, first thing they do when they arrive is cry out. Maybe that's what I feel like I need right now, is someone to hold me really tight, and I know I'm safe and secure, and just let me cry out. Like, oh my God, I'm coming, and I've almost finished this birth, and I've almost arrived, and that was hard. And now I'm here. And I'd like to say here is like some fabulous place, but we all know it's right here. It's like I didn't go anywhere, even though energetically there may be a birth cycle. It's still here. So anyway, pressure is a privilege, and if you feel the pressure of doing any of the deep work that you've heard me talk about, then I invite you to remind yourself that somehow, even when we feel like we can't, or we haven't been given what we need, or whatever, that the fact that we can even feel and acknowledge the pressure is there is a privilege. And then we just do our best to listen and respond as we can. So I wish you all the best of luck. And if you get a chance, I'm finally going to post my prologue to my book, The Seven Bloods, Septua Sanguis in Latin. And it's all about the birth of one of the characters, speaking first person about her birth. So I think you might give it a listen. Take care.